this video, we're going to look at some basic sketching techniques. We're going to look at three main things: line quality, shape, and proportion, because they're absolutely vital to getting a good quality sketch. Now, in terms of line quality, what we mean by that is having nice, consistent lines. So what we're looking for is lines that are straight, direct, and ideally quite light. What we want to avoid is doing this. We don't want that, okay? That looks inconsistent, it looks messy. So our next part is getting the shape right. Now we need to look at that object. We can see we've got a combination of vertical lines, some horizontal lines, and then this little diagonal slope. I'm going to start by giving myself a nice consistent ground line. That's going to be my starting point. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the overall length and shape of the object. So I'm going to look at this size here, I'm going to compare it with my fingers and then go, right, that's what I'm going to transfer. I'm going to pick a starting point and an end point. I'm going to look and see, yeah, does that match up with that? Just about. Then what I want to do is I want to get my vertical lines in nice and quick. So again, starting from my ground line, working my way up to get these two lines here. Once I've got them, I'm going to look at the height of the object. Now this is where proportion comes in, because we know the shape of the object, we can see that shape, but what we want to make sure is that there's a clear difference between the width or length of our object and the height here. And it's about 2/3 as long. So I'm going to look to there, I think there's about half, there's about 2/3. I'm going to go up to about here and try and get that height. I could then take that size and think, is that going to match there? At that point, I then take my line all the way across. You can see that I've extended beyond, I've created a structure, a box, a frame, but that's okay. I then look for the length of this object. Again, proportion comes into play because that's about halfway along. And I look for where that half is, and I bring that down. Again, keeping it nice and firm, consistent lines, but I'm starting to build up that shape. The last part is this little height here, and I'm looking, that comes away probably about halfway up, so again, looking across there. What that does is it gives me a nice box shape, a nice structure, and what I can then do is I can firm that in. Coming back to the next part, which is looking at this cylindrical part coming at the top. Now when we're looking at it in 2D, it is just straight lines. So I'm going to look at this gap here, again looking at the overall shape, but also looking at the proportion, the difference in size between there and there. I'm going to try and mark the same gap here and here as in there, same gap there. And again, I want to try and make sure that those two spaces are the same to try and keep it in proportion. Looking at the height of this little cylinder coming up, and I'm going to take that up there, trying to keep lines parallel, bring it up to there, and then looking again at that size and comparing it to here. That size there and that size there are pretty similar, so I want to try and make sure I get them close to each other so that it again looks in proportion. I take that line across there, look again for this next little height, taking that up there, and then measuring this size here, marking it there, marking it there, keeping that and that the same, drawing up here, drawing up here. You can move that out of the way, and what you can see is a clear difference between all the lines I've got on the page. So what I've got is I've got nice consistent line quality all the way around. I've got a difference between what I'd call my outlines and my construction lines. I've got a shape that matches the shape here, and again I've got sizes that are in proportion all the way around to allow you to get a good quality sketch.